Ocarina of Time, it is finally time to step off your throne. I know you are weary, but the new king has finally come home. What's up, my halflings? HMK here once again, and it's finally time for the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild review. HMK review. I gotta thank my friends at Nintendo for sending me a review unit of Nintendo Switch alongside a review copy of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So, first and foremost, I'm gonna get it out of the way and explain why I think so. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the best Zelda game ever. It is the best Zelda game I've ever played, and probably the best game I've ever played. I have not had this much fun with a video game in years, in almost ever. This is the most complete game, open world Zelda game I have ever played. It is a league all of its own. It's leagues ahead of any other Zelda game you will play. This truly is the best Zelda game. It is over Ocarina of Time. Number one on my list already. But now I've talked about why I think so. This game is everything. It is a masterpiece. And I say that wholeheartedly. I'm not saying that because I love Zelda. I'm not saying that because I got a review copy. I played this game, I could not stop smiling. And it is such a long adventure and a complete adventure. You guys will get it and you guys will play it with hours on end. And the funny thing about a game like this is that it is so very easy to get tunnel vision. You know, you think you're gonna be on this quest to hit up a dungeon in order to save Hyrule. And then you look to the right and there's a whole plethora of things to do in this living, breathing world. And for a game like this with so much to do, I was at multiple points in this game where I thought I would know, or I thought I would think I would see an end in sight. However, the way this game is structured by the geniuses in Nintendo, not only is the end always in sight, it's never in sight. Because the end of the game is Hyrule Castle, and it's dead in the middle of the map. And it's right there, ready for you whenever you want it. But the way they structure this game, they lure you into this living, breathing environment with so much stuff to do. And everything you do in this game is enjoyable. Nothing feels like a chore. So there really isn't an end in sight for those people that want to try and complete everything. It's like that quote from Tron about perfection. The thing about perfection, it's unknowable, it's unreachable, yet it's around us, in front of us the whole time. That is this game. That is the end of this game, the beginning of this game, this entirety of this game. It's crazy. Now let's talk about a few pointers of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and why this game is so great. Nintendo made good on all the hype. Nintendo made good on all the promises that this is an open air adventure, that you can do anything you want in any order. As soon as you get off the Great Plateau, you can do anything you want. You can go and complete the game in any order. You can tackle any dungeon, any shrine, anywhere, in any way you want, in any direction you want, in any strategy you want. It's really hard to explain without truly spoiling what they did in this game, but once you get it for yourself and try, you'll see the magic that is the openness of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And one thing I was really afraid of, going off the heels of Link Between Worlds that followed a very similar suit where you're like, oh, you can tackle any dungeon you want, any way you want it. I was really afraid that the story was going to suffer for this game. However, IGN Numa said before that he found out a clever way to implement this story, which is very powerful in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Throughout this entire game, you're going to find out the legend behind the Legend of Zelda. You're going to find out the mystery of the champions and the relationship between Link and Zelda as the princess of Hyrule and Link being her royal guard. It's an incredibly deep and satisfying story, and it adds an insane amount of lore to the Zelda chronology as a whole. The story in itself encompasses a lot of things around the Calamity Ganon, the fall of Hyrule, and Link's relationship with an insane amount of colorful characters. And you know, speaking on the voice acting with the story, it's actually pretty well executed once you understand the characters and their development, each one of them. A lot of people was giving Zelda a lot of flack for her voice actor in English for the most part, but after you play the game and find out more and more about her personality, you'll find out why she is like that, and it makes a lot of sense. The story in itself has a wide range of emotions, but at its core, it's an incredibly sad and powerful story that you guys have to enjoy and see for yourselves. As I reached each plot point, my jaw just kept dropping to the floor about how grand this story is and what it adds to the Zelda chronology and what led up to this mess. And the story is discoverable on your own pace. It's not something they throw at you all at once. So it's very interesting, and it's a good way to incentivize players to go out and explore this world and find out what happened to it. Let me talk a little bit about the graphics in this game, because the graphics kind of spills over into the gameplay and the physics. The graphics work extremely well for Breath of the Wild. As the first ever true HD Zelda game, I was enamored. I was jaw-dropped. I was floored by all the characters and how well they move, they interact. In this living, breathing world, they work, they do stuff without you. And all the character models are so articulate, and they work, and none of them feel static. None of them feel static. Nothing in this world feels static. Everything is moving, everything is reacting, everything is living, breathing. Breath of the Wild. Jesus Christ. But the true beauty of this game when it comes to graphics is the world of Hyrule itself, the ruined world of Hyrule. Everything is breathtaking, and trust me, you have not seen anything yet. From the landscapes of the mountain, to the pastures, to Zora's domain, to the icy tundras, the scorching deserts, the beautiful rainforest, the serene sea. Everything is connected, everything looks amazing. And all these areas are teeming with wildlife they can hunt, capture, or log. Trying to hit 100% on this game is going to be a very trying task, but it's going to be a good ride all the way. When exploring these areas, I found myself getting lost and just looking for new things, and then just feeling that hope of accomplishment when I discover a new town, a new shrine, or new ruins to explore. And everything feels so satisfying when you discover stuff in this game. When you discover story, when you discover treasure, when you discover towns, when you discover shrines, dungeons. And like I said, you can do it in any order. Hell, if you are so bold, you can go and find the Master Sword from the beginning of the game, but that doesn't mean you can get it. Which plays onto the genius of Nintendo on how they connect everything in this game. Combat, story, physics, all this world. Combat in this game is crazy intuitive. Every enemy will try to bum rush you. They will not take their turns. They will take as much as they can to try and finish you. And more enemies might pile up on you if you're not careful. Some enemies are dumb because, that's how they are. But some enemies are incredibly intelligent. It all boils down on who you're facing. You're gonna have to know their weak point, their elemental resistances, what element they represent, and what's the best weapon to handle that situation. And it's all up to you. If you want to stealth up on an enemy and do a stealth strike from behind, that's all you. If you want to bum rush them from ahead, go ahead, go at it. If you want to pick them off at a distance with arrows, be my guest. There is so much clothing and so much defensive options to explore in this game. There's so much to collect. There is so much to this game, Breath of the Wild. It may seem overwhelming, but once you sit down in your chair and grab your controller, you just need to surrender yourself to the game, and then you'll enjoy it to the fullest. The best way to describe this game is that it's so huge, so complete, and so versatile. It accepts all types of playstyles from any type of player. You want to complete everything? Go ahead. You want to just tackle the dungeons? Be my guest. You want to go straight for Calamity Ganon? It's all you, bro. The physics in this game is so smart. Dungeons and shrines rely a lot on the physics of this game. So rather than needing an item in order to complete dungeons or shrines like past Zelda games, that's not the case. You're gonna have to rely on your own ingenuity and how to solve these puzzles using the physics and using what's around you. And every time you finish a puzzle in a dungeon or a shrine, you feel accomplished. You feel heavily satisfied, like you've done something, because these puzzles are very clever. And since there's an insane amount of shrines all over the world, they're all bite-sized, so it keeps the action flowing and keeps the action high. And it also incentivizes you to find them. So not only do they grant you a spirit orb and loot as your reward, it's also rewarding to find these dungeons and their shrines. And trust me, some are a lot harder to find than others. Now let's talk about the music. The music in this game is amazing. It made me feel so many ways. It made me feel so many emotions. Like, it's incredibly varied. There's a lot of comical pieces, a lot of serious pieces, a lot of ambient sounds, a lot of good, heartwarming, and a lot of cold, downplaying music. The music in this game is truly a triumph, and wait until you get to Hyrule Castle. The difficulty in this game is incredibly challenging. It relies a lot on how you handle enemies and how you understand yourself in the wild. Survival is key in this game. You're gonna have to cook, you're gonna have to be well stocked up on weapons, shields, bows, and arrows. Because if you try to tackle a situation when you're not ready for it, in terms of equipment, you're not ready. You're gonna get wrecked. And that in itself is an incredible way to balance the game and loot and everything, because everything in this game can break. When you're out of weapons and you're discovering new weapons and stuff, it keeps the flow going. It makes you make that choice to either use a weapon, drop a weapon, get a better weapon, hunt weapons. And every time you get a treasure chest, it always keeps you guessing on what kind of loot is in. A new shield, a new sword, a new bow. It's crazy. Every time I saw a treasure chest in this game, I could not stop blowing. It's not like any of those other games where it's like, oh, another treasure chest, it could be rupees or anything. No, the way this game is structured is that every time you see a treasure chest, like, let's go, let's get it, what's in the box? The only issue I have with this game is that there are some frame drops, but they're very frequent and very in between. Other than that, this game has been a complete joy to play. I've logged in so many hours and I could not stop smiling throughout all my gameplay. Nothing felt like a chore. Everything felt connected. There's always something to do. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is, in my case, that is perfection. This game is perfection. The physics in this game is intelligent. The gameplay is incredibly balanced. Hunting, capturing horses, looking for the story, listening to the music, appreciating the backgrounds, tackling dungeons, finding shrines. Everything is so complete. Everything is so damn fun! The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild blows everything else out of the water. It is the best game I ever played. It is the best Zelda game ever. It dismantles Ocarina of Time. This is the shining example of an open world game. You can go anywhere, you can discover anything, all houses you can go inside of. There are so many characters, so many quests, so much stuff to do, so much stuff to explore, so much stuff to discover. I don't care what you need to do, you need to get this game, you need to play this game, you need to experience this game. There's something special. I don't know how anything else will top this. That being said, it is my extreme pleasure to award The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild a 10 out of 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 10. This is the most perfect game I've ever played. Oh my god, I have been driven to tears playing this game. It was worth the wait. It was worth the hype. Nintendo is an accomplishment. It is a masterpiece. Play it on Wii U. I don't care. Play it on Nintendo Switch. I don't care. Play this game. Go out and get it. I am telling you, full recommendation. This is not a plug or anything. I've played this game. I've experienced this game. As a gamer, if you are any type of gamer, you owe yourself to play this game. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is perfection. It is the complete experience. Get this game. 10 out of 10. Perfect score. Stand behind it wholeheartedly. Don't at me. This is now number 1. Over Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is over. This is it. So guys, if you enjoyed this review, let me know in the comment section below. I cannot wait for you to try out this game and then we can talk about it. So guys, until the next Breath of the Wild video, this adds so much to my repertoire of videos, theories, everything. It is not ending anytime soon. I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.